Hello again, I'm Jay Hicks with Gerald Properties, and we're back on site at Goolrick's in downtown Fredericksburg, checking up on the work that's been done since we were last here. We're making our way to the rear of the building where we've been doing some redesigning and reconfiguring of some of the materials down here. Pre-World War II, there was a staircase set in the middle part of the building that we just walked away from and was relocated here below the kitchen. But it's not going to work for us anymore. We want to redesign the upstairs and make the kitchen more workable. So we're going to be locating those stairs back into the area more in the middle of the building. And we also are going to be reconfiguring some of the truss work, the support beams that help us stand on that first floor. And in doing so, we've removed some of the beams here today. We're going to take a closer look at here in just a minute. And we're taking this material, which is heart pine, and we're reusing it in some of the other areas of the building, like boxing in the windows, but trying to do our best to take advantage of what we already have here existing in the building and repurposing it in a meaningful way. But as I said, this was heart pine, and we have done some scientific testing on these boards to figure out what the strength capabilities of them were, because we wanted to continue to use traditional materials as we've used traditional methods to put this building back together. And so what we've done is we've gone out and found replacement boards that are just as strong as that heart pine. This is some yellow pine, and this is what we're going to be using to help support that floor above us. Let's take a closer look. Let's talk to some of the guys actually doing the work and see how they're doing it. Catalyst Construction, and out here today, thank you for being with us. We just loaded this beam through a hole in the wall. What are we doing here?
What we do is we have existing pockets on the other side of the wall, and the joist is going in the existing pocket on the other side. And what we had to do, since we couldn't get them in from the inside, we had to come from the outside because the span is so long.
And so that's why they're expanded
wider
than the wall provides, and that's why we had to jet them through the exterior wall here. Now we also were able to see, well, you see that yellow pine, that big board of yellow pine, but we've capped them on the ends with some copper. Is there a reason for that?
Yeah, because it'll stop the deterioration of the wood over time. Okay. It protects it. Plus there's also a sealer that we paint on there on the ends of them to protect them inside of the copper flashing that we have there.
It's any unnecessary wear and tear, but moisture too. As much as anything. Yes. All right. Well, it looks good and sturdy. Okay. So let's keep it moving.
We're gonna move on.
Right on. All right. Bob, we just watched the board come through one of the exterior holes in the walls, and it's been pushed across the floor here and put in the wall here. And we can see a little bit about what's been done. We can see some of the copper flashing that we've featured, that we talked about to protect the wood itself against any deterioration. But what are we seeing here where it is inset in the wall?
Well, all it is a brick pocket to hold the joist instead of having framing on it. And what we'll do, since they're in, some of them still have to go up to the bottom of the floor. If you climb over to the next one we're going to take out, you see how they shimmed it with the piece of wood up underneath it?
Yep.
We're going to go ahead and we'll get them all in, and then we'll set a laser upstairs. And what we'll do is we'll jack everything up and make it level across the floor upstairs.
Still in the basement here at Goolrick's. We're in the rear of the building, just below the kitchen where the truss work is being done. And we're here with Chris of Habitus Construction. And Chris, first thing is that when I came in this morning, I thought we were going to be looking at the interior. But when I walked down George Street, we had these holes in the exterior of the wall. Can you explain to us why we needed to do this?
So to fit the new floor joists into the building, we had to cut access holes to the outside to fish the beams in. To do that, we removed as many bricks as possible without causing any kind of structural issues. So we can get the joists in, they'll be shimmed up into place, and then we'll re-brick the wall, matching the brick coursing and everything on the outside and make it look like we know we're there.
All right, so we put the new joists in, and I'm standing in the area where that old stairwell was, and this really opening this room up for when folks come in. But we've got the beams in, and we can see some of the copper that's exemplified here. What are we going to do now that once we get the beams in, what are we going to do to be able to put the wall back as it was?
So to do that, we got to clean the holes up a little more, remove any kind of old mortar, get back to a sound brick face, and then we will rebuild it the same as you see here. That used to be between the old joist, floor joists, and then the copper will act as a barrier between our masonry to protect the wood from any kind of water or anything related to the masonry.
Would the lime have any effect on the wood that's in the mortar?
It's more of you just want to keep the wood dry.
Okay.
So you just want to keep that separate, and also any kind of like movement between the two. It's nice to have some kind of barrier.
Okay. Is there anything structural here for us to worry about with the holes like this?
No, not with the sizes that we took out. No.
Okay. And now we can see a little bit of the coursing that's going on here, and that's the layers of the brick as go up. And here we see that
The header
the headers. Okay, is that what we got here? And then we've got longer shades of brick, and then we get back up to those shorter.
Yep.
What are we looking at?
So
when we
what
see
you
this?
see is common bond or American bond. You'll see a header, and then every 6 or so courses, you'll see another header.
Headers are small.
The headers are the small. So you have a header here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, another header, and that is tying your wall, which is 3 bricks thick. We talked about that before.
Essentially cross-hatching
Exactly.
the bricks to create some extra strength so there's not so much front.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And you can see here in the top of the pockets, they've actually did halves. These aren't full headers on the outside, just because that used to be where the pockets were and they couldn't put it back full.
Okay.
But that's essentially the bond and coursing that they used in this building, and there's various types. They just happen to use this.
So just like in the rest of the basement, which looks fabulous, you did a fabulous job down here. We're going to put the same type of methodology into the installation of the brick that we put back to return it to its integral structure.
Yes, sir.
All right. Chris, thanks for being here again.
Thank you.
All right. Great to be here with you again today, showing you some of the work that's been going on down here at Goolrick's. The love and sweat is real. The craftsmanship is real. We're really proud of the work that we've seen go on here, and we're going to keep it going. We're working on stabilizing that first floor, but that's hardly the end of it, so we look forward to you coming back and joining us again for the next episode of Reviving Goolrick's.
Thanks so much for tuning in. Please follow us on all our socials to stay up to date with the latest happenings.